Hi everyone, it's topic time. Yeah, if I'm gonna talk like this about topics, then I might as well just copy topic time or call it topic. I might as well just call it topic time and then copy. What was it called? It's letter time from video games and arcade top 10. Old show. Not that old. It was Canadian, all right. Anyway, today's topic or this video's topic is gonna be about the video game industry. Basically, I don't know if you guys have seen it. I've posted a comic about the reaction to Street Fighter versus Tekken's DLCs, and it's an interesting topic. So I just wanted to talk about it. But basically, this is going to be dwelling around multiple little quirks the video game industry has, and how we affect it at the same time. Now, for the DLC issue, Street Fighter vs. Tekken was spotted with on-disc DLCs that were just locked off by some kind of an activation code, such as, characters, endings, blah blah blah. Now, a lot of people are riled up because they are on-disc DLCs. So, what the fuck, Capcom? And I can definitely see two sides of a coin. Actually, no, when it comes to Capcom and that Street Fighter thing, that's more of a piss off because now I know there could be a Ultimate Street Fighter versus Tekken edition, and I might as well just not buy it because another edition might come out. So a bit like Marvel versus Capcom, I thought it was going to be the only one, and then Ultimate Marvel versus Capcom. Well, there's a big FU there. But at the same time, I can kind of see how some companies are trying to earn back their money using DLCs and online passes. What do I mean? Okay, well, switching to consumer side, you do have people like me who will not buy on day one. Depending on the game. I mean, I support Sega, so I got Binary Domain, Yakuza 4, and possibly getting Dead Souls through some kind of a miracle on day one. But there are other games which I didn't get on day one, like Mass Effect. I still don't have it. Kingdoms of Amalur, didn't have it, and other games. So at that point, they get a tad bit fearful, and they do want to make extra. Well, not really extra. If you didn't buy it on day one purchase, then you won't, or they won't get the revenues. So they do. They still want to make profit out of it. So seeing if you're gonna buy the, let's say, a used copy, then they put that online pass to at least get maybe 5% revenue compared to what they could get. And all right, I can kind of see how this works into play. It's a pain in the ass, but seeing that we're not made out of money, you see, there's arguments on both sides. You can see both points in there. Because first, well, we are not made out of money, and maybe sometimes we do not see the interest in buying on day one if it's not one of our favorite games. But they still want to make profit because those projects aren't going to fund themselves. But when it comes to those projects, I do notice that there are many projects somewhat costing more to the developers than, well, the actual revenue that they could get. I have no idea how the whole pipeline mechanic works. I only did game testing, and I haven't really analyzed anything that came to development except if it was for concept art and all that. So that's more on the managing side, but more often these days, projects will cost a lot to make. So you kind of wonder, what if they found an alternative options to make them cost less to produce instead of overcharging it with DLCs and all that? I can't blame DLCs on each and every company. Some do it well. Look at Saints Row. It's an extension to the actual game. It's not an on this type of bullshit. So if you like the game, you get more content out of it. That's cool. It's not content that is supposed to be on disc. And this is where I kind of call fault on that. So I have absolutely no idea how this argument can be resolved. Not at all. I mean, obvious option would be looking at indie games because they do not bullshit in the same way. They do not cost that much to purchase, which makes them more affordable, which in its turn might give them more revenues or more sales. I mean, would you go for a game that is $60, high graphics and all that, or would you go for a game that's $10 and has great gameplay and a lot of replayability? It's a difficult choice, you know? I mean, even now, I'm struggling to get Shank 2. Doing a couple of commissions on the side to actually get Shank 2. Because I like what they did. I bought Shank 1, and I might as well just get Shank 2 to see how they evolved. So it's a struggle. It's really one heck of a struggle. I don't know how else to put it. There's arguments on both sides. And of course, our main argument is we are not made out of money. And also, do not fuck around with us when it comes to DLCs. Actually, a strong point we can put for the buyers is that DLC somewhat make it hard to demonstrate the game. Follow me with this. If I bring my copy of King of Fighters to my friend's place, if I only bring the disc, then a big part of the characters, or okay, not saying a big part of the characters because it's only maybe 5 characters. Yes, 5 characters will not be available unless I unlock 2 of those 5 characters on their game, and then I'd have to put my PSN account in their PlayStation 3. But a big FU that Sony gave to PSN users is that we have our limit of 5 accounts or 5 shared accounts has dropped to 3, which makes a difference, of course. There's a lot of activating and deactivating to be done. And of course, this just gets to be a piss off. Sony's backing off on their word. So let's say I got Street Fighter vs. Tekken, and those DLCs were released, and I got suckered into buying those. Then if I brought the CD to my friend's place, there would be 10 characters missing, 10 or more, something like that, And that's a big pain in the ass. That is really a big pain in the ass compared to, let's say, maybe 10 years ago or 5 years ago. You'd bring your Street Fighter Alpha 3 disc, anthology version, and all the characters and all the fighters would be in there, and you didn't need to, do some DLC account bullshit, or you didn't need to re-download them or repay for them. It's really becoming a pain in the ass, and I don't think they understand the user point of view, where Sony kind of dick punched us, and we don't really need to do that effort anymore. If we don't want to buy your product, then at this point we're going to give you the message: we're not buying your product. Stop spending too much on making those DLCs, and you won't have any problems. I don't know. There's arguments on both sides, so we have to watch out with this argument. Frankly, it's giving me a headache. Also, what else? There are Japan-only content. Small thing I've noticed, especially with Binary Domain, is that 2 characters were available. 2 or 3 characters were available on the Japanese PSN network, and nothing here. Kind of makes me wonder. I don't know how they work that pipeline. I have absolutely no clue what the decisions are like at the top, because frankly, they do not seem well educated. No joke. A lot of them, or when it comes to management and decisions like that, they really target the money, which gives customers a point about companies being very greedy. Pain in the ass. Hey, I'm speaking about you, EA. Day 1 DLCs. And you too, Ubisoft. I saw that. Day 1 DLCs. What the hell? Couldn't you put that in the disc? I don't think they understand the requirements or the description of what is downloadable content, or would you rather say in an ancient term, expansions. You're expanding the gameplay after you know it's been well received and people want more. You don't plan that kind of stuff ahead unless you have something that's in a cutting board, in a scrap board, let's say, and you want to integrate that in. A bit like Duke Nukem. Ironically enough, a bit like Duke Nukem Forever and that DLC content. Funny material. I don't know, man. What do you guys think? I want to hear your comments, your suggestion. This is a tough argument, and there's valid points on both sides. Maybe games are too expensive nowadays. No, not too expensive. Well, they are getting that expensive. They are getting to that Final Fantasy VI expensive of $100, but that's mostly over time. Look at how Activision is pulling it off for their Call of Duty DLCs. After you've purchased all those DLCs, you get around maybe $90, $100 in total if you count your game. It's getting nuts, man. It's getting nuts. And especially looking at Call of Duty, which is now the Quake 2 of this era. I want to compare it to Quake 2, but Quake 2 had user-made content. Something that we do not have with Call of Duty and a lot of games nowadays. And I'm talking about games where you can actually legitly mod. I know Skyrim has a legit mod. I've seen Saints Row mods, but I do not know if they were legit or approved, or if they had somewhat of a toolbox. That's a thing that's missing nowadays, and that's companies who really want their DLC money. They won't give you toolkits or map editors or all that. We need to mod it on our own. You can see the evolution of things, right? No more expansions, now they have to be DLCs. No more toolkits or rare occurrence of a toolkit. Seeing that we're gonna have to bring you DLCs, so we want that money. So that makes you wonder. I can kind of see why games like Minecraft are very popular. Even though I don't play the game myself, and I will not see myself playing the game because it's not my type of game, but I can see where that kind of user-created content type of game is fascinating. Hell, if there was a Minecraft in 2D with beat-em-up graphics, I don't know, I'm just spouting out, but that would get me. Or a bit like Jedi Academy, where people made their own map because it was Unreal, and also made their own skins. Nowadays, you look at Force Unleashed, you don't get that kind of stuff. So yeah, let's hear your opinion or your side of this argument, and how would you solve it all? Because hey, that's what we are trying to find out. The answer, how to solve it, how to make it easier. Well, somewhat. We can try. But really, how do we solve this conflict? Anyway, good luck, guys. I'm gonna go back to, I don't know, drawing. And then binary domain. Look at that multiplayer. Fun stuff. No joke. Oh yeah, and might as well spoil it. Instead of making a 30-minute video, the host is going to quit. Two other people are going to rage quit, and I am left all alone in this server fighting 20 robots. Oh, and I eat a rocket to the face, which made me go as the last person standing. Well, I kind of got killed, so yeah, spoiler, done. So yeah, comment, feedback. Maybe subscribe. Later, guys.